Hi guys, Tobo McGrath here. I wanted to show you a short drill that may be helpful if you have students who maybe got into full contact sparring a little too early. And this may help alleviate a problem I see commonly with students who are in that situation is they start at long range and they jump in and they try to get one hit and they jump out and they essentially end up playing a game of tag with each other. So try this drill, see if it'll help you guys. So everyone has a basic drill on the entire heavy bag. I'm using these 4 diagonal strikes as the basics since everyone has those. You can apply these to any 3 or 4 step combination. But you start off at range where you can hit the tire, 1, 2, 3, 4 diagonals, right? Now I want you to try that at range where you can hit with the first one, right? You're just making contact at range. So 1 and then step in. 2, 3, 4. And then I want you to go from that range where you can just hit, take 1 shuffle step back where you can't hit on the first one, and then hit 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're firing that 1 in the gap. It's kind of like covering fire. If you have an army unit, some guys will cover, some guys will try to outflank. You're throwing something into the gap as suppressing fire. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you notice I'm trying to get a little bit offline on the subsequent shots after initial contact. So I'm not standing toe to toe and just taking each other, absorbing his attacks at the range and at the center of his target area where he would put his heavy bag, right, or tire. So from there you go out and you take 2 steps back and go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're taking farther and farther steps back, as far back as you could likely get in the beginning of sparring, and just do your drills coming in until you get to the point where you make contact. So they get used to firing something as they're charging in and not simply trying to leap that distance and go for a cut. If you have the 5 attack subsystem, then you also start doing variations on that order. So if the first drill is 1, 2, 3, 4, the second drill would be 2, 1, 4, 3. You can also play that 3, 4, 1, 2, and you can also play that 4, 3, 2, 1, just so you get some variety in your technique. Back in my early days of my teaching career in the early 80s, I had a student who wanted to get into a tournament. He was a beginner, but he was a undercover NYC police officer. It was so rough, used to rough and tumble events. So instead of, I noticed a lot of people in tournaments were just doing charging each other 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then try to do something inside. So all I had him do was attack with 1, 2, 3, 4, charging forward. Had him go back and forth across the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, charging in. Just the addition of a 3 and 4 in that simple combination was enough for him to win the beginners section. It was one of the first tournament we had in Big Spring, Texas. And he beat guys who had more experience simply because he was doing 2 extra shots on his entry, 3 and 4. So try to give this idea a test run in your school. Start off 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a step back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take 2 steps back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just keep going farther and farther back with different entries. 2, 1, 4, 3, whatever one you want, any combination you want. And it's simply to get them used to bridging the gap with some covering fire, suppressive fire, not just trying to charge this gap, and throw a shot from long range. Usually the guy can see it coming. Okay, thank you guys. Train hard, but train smart.